the #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Costa Rica Real Estate and Investments with me, your host, Richard Beckson. Today, we're going to be talking with Kenny Seggers. Kenny works for Special Places of Costa Rica. It's a property management company up there in the northern Guanacaste area, but I thought it would be great to get him on here. As I know, a lot of you are looking to invest or develop vacation rentals here in Costa Rica as investments, or as what I like to call lifestyle investments, where you guys also get to use it as well. So I wanted to chat with him and get his input on the best product on the market for returns, what things to look out for. And again, especially if you're developing a home, like building a home, which we're doing many of for many of you guys here in Costa Rica, project managing it. We don't actually build, just to be clear, guys. The things, the amenities, the services, and the floor plan that you really need to think about to maximize the revenue in your properties. So yeah, it's going to be a great conversation with Kenny here. He's been doing this for quite some time and has managed some, a lot of exceptional properties in those northern Guanacaste areas of Playa Flamingo, Potrero, Coco, Hermosa, and Playa Grande. So we'll be chatting with him soon. Remember, guys, if anyone needs any help or wants to chat about investing in Costa Rica, you can contact us, info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. We've actually made 2 investments so far this year. We bought a piece of land in Ojochao that we're about to develop. We're about to make another offer on a piece of land in Ojochao as well. And also, we just bought a condo in Tamarindo as well to basically refurb it and then go on and sell it as well. So, we are eating our own pudding here of what it is that we say that you should be doing here in Costa Rica. We actually do it ourselves as well. So, I'll give you an update, guys, as we work through that on how that goes. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get straight into the podcast. Good morning, Kenny. How are you doing?
Good morning. Very well. How are you?
Very, very good. Thank you. Really appreciate you taking time to chat with us on this podcast here, Kenny.
Definitely my pleasure.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure we're all in the upswing of high season here. It's pretty crazy. As you're aware, I was up in Guanacaste yesterday, and it just seems very, very busy at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Actually, this high season, we're seeing one of our top high seasons. We have a lot of occupancy. Most of our properties are fully rented from now till the end of April, with some gaps here and there that's still being filled up with last minute bookings. So we're having a very good season at this moment.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, I think that the question on everyone's mind at the moment is, we're just seeing, current world economic issues and some of the stuff going on. Are you seeing any slowdown on your side?
So basically, we do see a slowdown. There are a lot of factors that are affecting our vacation rental industry. Of course, we have the war in Ukraine that affects us. Flights are quite expensive to travel right now to Costa Rica. Just one of the things is even that clients that, for example, book months ahead of time a vacation rental, they cancel upon us because the flights they didn't book their flights yet. And once they want to book it, they see how expensive it is, and at the end they cancel their vacation rental. And then also the economy in the United States and Canada is not in our favor right now. Travel is not a priority, so people are holding back a bit on their travel ideas or their travel plans. As well, I was, for example, in Mexico in December. I was in Mexico, and I was attending a conference about vacation rentals, and actually it's predicted that for 2023, there's going to be a 5% drop in occupancy in Latin America.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to see some slowdown, that's for sure. What it's going to look like, how it's going to impact, real estate. I'm sure we'll see it first probably in tourism, as we typically do, and then see it kind of roll into real estate here, just because, usually we lag, 12 to 18 months behind real estate in the US. But, looking at January, February, March from a tourism point of view,
like hotels, I mean, they're just as busy as they were in 2022. I just wonder what the low season is going to look like, whether we're going to move more back to that original cycle of May and June being a bit quieter, July picks up, August quietens down, with September and October being very quiet.
Yeah, indeed, it will be very curious. Though what we have seen after COVID, we saw that people are more all year round travelers instead of like really about the peak seasons of January, February, March, June, July, August. We have seen that people are, let's say, because let's say to travel in those months as May and September, October, and November, in general everything is cheaper, like rental rates, hotel rates, as well as flights. So people are shifting around through the whole year. So it could be that actually the people that normally traveled in high season, because they have to look at their budget, they're traveling in those off seasons or those shoulder seasons.
It's funny what you said about flights, because I actually had a client who actually was looking to fly down at the end of April, and he got flights for $91 each way from Atlanta to Liberia.
Oh wow!
Which even I was blown away. You know,
yeah,
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he needs to teach us those tricks where he looks, because I never can find those deals.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I mean, I'm going to Colorado in like 2 weeks, and I think I paid close to $1,000 for flights from Costa Rica to Colorado and back.
Yeah. I also have flights coming up to Canada, and they were over $1,000 a person just to fly there. Wow. Yeah, it's incredible. Even right now, flying into New York from Costa Rica, it's like $700, $800. Yeah. Where normally you were able to fly like for 400 or 450. It's a big difference.
Wow. Well, I mean, what advice? I mean, you've managed a lot of vacation rentals over the time and know the numbers. I mean, what advice would you give to anyone looking to invest in a vacation rental in Costa Rica?
I believe that a lot of people that invest in vacation rentals, a big group of them, they are not really aware exactly what vacation rental is. They just think it's as easy as putting a property in Airbnb and they get it rented. Honestly, it's not as easy. There's a lot of aspects that come to owning, let's say, a vacation rental in Costa Rica. It is not only, let's say, renting it out, it's also the management, it's payment of bills, it's taxes, it's insurance. It's like a very wide range of things that buyers need to take in consideration. So, and there are many different ways how to do it. Though always my strongest suggestion is to do it always in the most legal way, or just do it legal, because otherwise it will get back to you in the future, and at the end it will give you a lot of problems.
Well, and I mean, I suppose the problem here with is that, like, if you do get into tax issues here, like, there is no negotiating. I mean, it's this way or the highway. I mean, it's, unfortunately.
Yeah, indeed. That's exactly how the Costa Rican tax department works. It is, one side is a good thing because it really helps for people to think twice about doing something illegal, let's say on income or tax wise. Though I still feel there's a big lack on enforcement from the tax department, but they're working on it. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, what areas and products do you think demand the highest average daily rates? I mean, because a lot of people are looking for, returns. So, I mean, what stuff just does really well?
Yeah. So actually, that's a very curious question, as I always see homeowners that buy vacation rentals. I always qualify them in two different groups. You have the first is the one type of homeowner that buys a property as a future retire plan, to live, for example, at the property, or for example, to use the property, come down several times a year. So basically, they're looking for a property that generates income, but actually they're happy with just offsetting costs of that same property. While the second group, for example, these are people that buy properties because they want to have an income from it. They want to live from it. They want to have more than just having your operating bills, let's say, covered. So if we look at, for example, at that second group of people that buy vacation rental properties, my strongest suggestion would be, it's always like what people really always look for as a traveler is they want to have something special, something unique. So if we're talking about, let's say, properties are beachfront or properties that have like an amazing ocean view, that are always very, let's say the properties are really in high demand. And then the better your property, the bigger your property is, the better actually, because we see a lot properties that are 4 bedrooms or more. They have a higher occupancy in general than any other property, or for example, 2 or 3 bedrooms.
Yeah. No, and I agree on that front. I mean, it's when you look at the two things here, I mean, I had an 8-bedroom luxury, vacation rental, and we were like at 72% occupancy. Sometimes we got up into the 80s. Difficult sometimes because of like check-ins and check-outs. There are always these gaps and you can't move people around like you would do in a hotel. But it's amazing that how well the larger homes do. Again, it's a bigger investment, but your return is also bigger as well.
Indeed, yes. Yeah.
It's that and like 75% of all vacation rentals have like 3 bedrooms and less.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. What I see with the bigger homes is you can, let's say, market to a wider group of people. Because, for example, you can get bigger families that are that require 4 bedrooms, but you also have what we see a lot is like different generations coming down. So grandparents, then their kids, and then the grandkids, basically. So they normally it's like 10 people or more. So they're definitely occupying with us a lot of our bigger vacation rental homes.
I mean, if you had a 3-bedroom condo and you had a 3-bedroom home, both very similar, both with ocean view, both same distance to town, best distance from the beach, which one would potentially do better with regards to returns?
It will be the home because of the privacy, because you have the private pool. In general, there are less rules because when you have a condo, you have a condominium complex, then you have a shared pool. It's limited on exactly what you do. You don't have, let's say, the whole barbecue area for yourself. So I would definitely put my money on a home instead of a condo.
Okay. What do you think? What product are you missing, Kenny? What product would you like to have that you just don't have at the moment? Where you were just like, I really want that because I just know, or you want more of that product?
You were breaking up again.
No worries. That like, what product do you have that you want more of? That like just does really well. There's a gap in the market that you would just really like to have it.
The product we want more of, our best rentals are bigger properties, our beachfront properties or ocean view homes that are close to town. For us, they have the highest occupancy. They have the best numbers, basically. So I would welcome those properties anytime in my inventory.
I mean, what are the beach towns that you're seeing that are just growing?
Well, we have our main office over here in Flamingo, and then the town next door is Potrero, which is just 5 minutes away. Potrero has had a tremendous boom over the last 2-3 years. I think just inventory on properties there has doubled over these last 2-3 years. So I'd definitely say that I think Potrero is the biggest town that has grown over here in the area. As well, Tamarindo as well has grown a lot, the same as Playa Grande and the same as Coco, but I don't believe as big as how Potrero has grown in general, percentage-wise.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's just talk because a lot of people always want to hear about those towns, 5 to 10 years in the future that they think are going to really, going to blow up, or develop. I mean, which ones do you think in the next 10 years are really going to take off?
I would say definitely the area between Tamarindo and Playa Flamingo. It's like the area where just behind Reserva Conchal. It's like the area where you have Playa Minas and Playa Pirata.
Which are beautiful.
Yeah, those beaches are actually, they're one of my favorites. Minas is one of my favorite beaches. It's that area, it's still underdeveloped. There's still a lot of land for sale at very good prices compared to anywhere else. So I believe at the moment right now is kind of the time to buy there. And then you will see that in a couple of, let's say, 4 or 5 years, like there will be a serious, let's say, expat community there having properties and trying to and renting them out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when designing homes, because we actually spend quite a bit of time designing homes, so I always like to get feedback from, people that are in the trenches, as I say, of property management and also homes. I mean, when designing your home and thinking of a vacation rental, I mean, what aspects do you think should be considered in the design and also the layout as well?
Yeah. So the properties that I like the most are the ones that are the easiest to maintain. Sometimes we have properties that are built by architects, and they have the owner let them do, let's say, have the architects, let's say, uh, put in, let's say, on the property a lot, which makes that they're very nicely, let's say, or aesthetic homes, but they're not that easy to maintain.
Yeah.
So that makes it way more challenging for us as a management company to maintain these properties. And it's not only the maintenance, also the cost that comes with actually to maintain it. Well, for example, if you have a home that's built with the idea of easy maintenance at the end, it's money that the owner puts in his pocket by not, let's say, having to hire a special crew, let's say, to clean high windows, or for example, because the owner decided to put in, like, let's say, a brand of, let's say, appliances that's very hard to get in Costa Rica. At the end, if there are no parts in Costa Rica, everything needs to be important, and basically all that costs extra money. So I would definitely say, like, easy to maintain properties. It's one of my things on the first spot to say, like, that's for me very important for a property that's in the vacation rental pool.
What about some features of that property? I mean, what things should it have? You know, like an owner's closet, you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely owner's closet, very important for the owner so they can store their personal belongings away. Secondly, a maid lockout, also very important because you want to have that extra space where the maid can put the extra sheets or the extra towels, soaps, and all that stuff. So guests don't have access to that. And you also don't want to have, let's say, the management company always run products from their office to the property because basically it will increase costs. It's
yeah,
very easier to have all those items directly at the property.
definitely.
Something else I think is very important on a vacation rental properties, it needs to be secure. So I feel it's always important to invest in good locks, good window locks. Just make sure that there's no inconvenience, let's say, towards any tenants with, for example, because there is petty theft in Costa Rica, to be honest. It's not something that we should hide. So the homeowners should secure their property decently, so tenants don't have an issue.
I mean,
Um,
how much are you trying to convince your, you know, homeowners or people building homes to kind of move into more of, you know, Wi-Fi orientated, connected locks, you know, I wouldn't say Alexa lights and stuff, but like to move more into the 21st century?
Honestly, we as a company, since last year, we've been doing a big push with our homeowners on installing electronic locks. This makes it for us easy even just remotely to change codes for tenants, or for example, to have only a code that works for the exact time the guest will be at the property. It makes it very useful for us as well. We don't have the hassle of keys because basically keys are getting lost.
Yep.
Uh, Tenants take them home, they forget it in the rental car, they lose them at the beach. Well, for example, if you have an electronic lock with a code, it's very easy. There's nothing to get lost. And if they can't get in because they forgot the code, then basically we're just a call away to get them in.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, definitely.
yeah. And then
What about
maintenance wise, if you can have your irrigation and your alarm all phone operated, same as cameras, makes a big difference.
what about more dramatic features in the home, like amenities it must have, or like the look and style of it?
Um, it's always good to have some dramatic features at the property, as for example that crazy infinity pool, or let's say that outdoor kitchen area with a barbecue. That's always very important because it's like those extra that's kind of sells your property. I would say definitely a must to put that in your property. This just it's like an extra point for your property that you're gonna be able to attract a client instead of that client goes to another property.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I mean, I think you need those things, especially just understanding that the majority of people spend their time outside when they're here in Costa Rica, not inside.
Yes, correct.
what's Special Places of Costa Rica's most successful rental and why, or rentals, and why?
So if we look at income generated for properties, we have three properties are called Hacienda Flamingo. These are beachfront rentals, just because of their location and the luxury they are. They are our best vacation rentals that we have in our pool. But if you look at occupancy wise, we have two homes that are located on the north ridge of Flamingo.
Yep.
One is a 4-bedroom, the other one is a 6-bedroom, and they have the highest occupancy in our rental pool. And now we're talking about an occupancy rate of 85%.
Wow. Wow. And you think that that's just because, how much of that's location and how much do you think it's size, or is it both?
It is both. It's location because it's right in town. It's just 4 minutes away from the beach, basically. Size has definitely to do with it because one is a 4-bedroom, the other one is a 6-bedroom. But as well, these properties, they're already 8 years under our management. So basically, it's already 8 years of being able to promote these properties. So it's not because if we have a new property, we put it on the different OTAs that we can have bookings right away. It takes time to get out there. Basically, reviews are very important in our market because they kind of reconfirm what we say in the listing description, or let's say the pictures that we post. So it takes time to get up there, to get to that 85%. But it's definitely possible.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're amazing numbers, Kenny. So congratulations on that, because I mean, there are very few homes and very few property management companies that I know can garnish those kind of occupancy rates. And I'm sure that they have a great ADR as well. But I'll not keep you any longer, as I know that you're very busy. But my last question that I love to ask everyone, I mean, if you were to inherit $500,000, Kenny, had to invest it into business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you do with it and why?
I would do a combination of both. I wouldn't. What I would do is I would buy two properties, two pieces of land, build on each property a house, and then basically, depending on how touristy the area is, or for example, how much income you can generate on rentals, keep both properties. So you have basically two incomes to pay of everything, or sell one and then just keep the other one. And then basically, if you sell one, probably you will make your initial investment back already.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. You know, a lot of people are scared to do this, but it's pretty amazing that if you buy a piece of land and build a home, just the equity that you can gain just on doing that. Because again, people don't want to do it. And it's not that easy in Costa Rica if you don't know what it is that you're doing. I mean, there are so many horror stories out there, you know. But I mean, I suppose that's why we do what we do, like project managing house builds. But like, yeah, you just need to really know what it is that you're doing, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's not the easiest process. It's always important to try to get in contact with like people you trust. So, but yeah, but at the end, the return on it, it's amazing.
Fantastic. Well, Kenny, I really appreciate you taking time to chat with us. I know that you guys are absolutely swamped over there, and it's been amazing having you on here. Your information is invaluable. And anyone that wants to get into contact with Kenny or Special Places of Costa Rica, I'll put all the contact details in the description. But thanks very much for coming on the show, Kenny.
My pleasure, Richard. It's definitely my pleasure to sit with all these answers on these questions.
Fantastic. Have a great day, Kenny.
Same to you. Bye.
Great podcast there with Kenny, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. As you can see, you know, just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to property management and also vacation rentals. I had a client actually that reached out to us through the podcast that we ended up helping invest in Pacifico in Coco and completely remodeled their unit for them as well. I mean, we don't do remodels, but these guys were just so nice. I could just see them getting taken advantage of in Costa Rica. So we decided that we would project manage it for them. And, you know, Kenny was actually the company that they chose to do property management. We didn't push them in any direction. We just gave them kind of the list of property management companies in the area. And then they interviewed and they decided to go with Special Places of Costa Rica. Incredible, because they've only had it on the website, I think, for 10 days and already have 4 reservations just because it's so different than what's available in Pacifico. I mean, we really, you know, took a look at everything that was available there. This is one of very few ocean view units, but we gutted the whole thing. Bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen, everything brand new. We were able to get it all done in 8 weeks. And I think it cost us about $65,000 with all the furniture as well. So if anyone wants to know more about that, just let me know. You can email us info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. Well, till the next podcast, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did enjoy it, please give us a review. I always love to see the reviews rolling in. Or as they say, pass the pod, share the podcast with someone that you think that might be useful. Because again, I think as a lot of you are aware that listen to this, investing in Costa Rica can be great if you know what it is that you're doing. So, us being there to kind of guide you through that process and kind of point you in the right direction can sometimes help. But anyway, have a great day, guys, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
The #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.